as people join, we can change here. Oh, okay. Hey, Elizabeth. Hi. Okay, everybody can unmute and do the voice. When Kelly calls your name, we're going to call this meeting to order and take attendance.
Okay, India Beale.
Here.
Cliff Dosel. Don't see Cliff. David Finn.
Here.
Dara Silver.
Here.
Betsy Towns, I don't see. Elizabeth Rapetti is here. Owens Daniels.
I'm here.
Jane Dab, not here. Jennifer Finkel.
Here.
Jason Beal.
Here.
All right, there you are.
Okay. Well, Elizabeth and Jennifer, Dara, Owens, you weren't here last time, so the meeting minutes won't mean as much to you, but there are a few others of us that were here. Jason and India and myself were here. We need to approve those minutes. So from somebody that was actually there, I suppose it makes the most sense to have that motion for approval. Do I have such a motion?
I approve.
Okay, I'll second that for approval. And all in favor of approving those minutes from the September 7th meeting, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye. Aye.
And then Jason Owens, are you ayes?
Aye.
And Owens.
I don't know if Owens can hear us. Owens, can you hear us? He may be fussing with his
I'm
equipment.
still trying to work with this damn camera. Yes, I can hear you. I said aye.
Okay,
Okay, great,
Got it.
thank you.
thanks, yes. Okay, it looks to me like our agenda has project reports on it, Kelly.
It does. Yeah, so we have kind of a quick meeting. No action items, just kind of updates on projects. So I'll just go down these real quick and let me know if you all have any questions. The Benton Convention Center, the art's being installed over the next 2 weeks, most of it tomorrow. And then Hieronymus is doing the mural probably towards the end of next week. And then the guideline is being installed at the end of next week as well. Artistic, oh, what?
That seems very fast. Just want to update that people that weren't here last time on September 7th, we approved those works that the committee recommended. And so it sounds like you've really made a lot. It's gone quite fast. Right, Kelly?
Yeah, and Jennifer and Cliff are going to help with the installation and just make sure that they're, the right heights and everything looks
Not
good.
actual installation, just, yeah. Sighting.
Right. Sighting.
Yes.
Going to have you up on ladders. With the levels. Artistic bus shelters. This needed to go back to the Winston-Salem Transit Authority Board, which it did last week and was approved. So we're going to be moving forward with that, issuing the RFP and doing an couple online workshops and getting all those out into the world. The Salem Parkway Bridge Art, we had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and the group really narrowed down the scope of the project and kind of want to get rid of the Cherry and Marshall interchange and concentrate on Peters Creek and Church Street. We had a discussion about putting art at where there used to be the Piedmont Triad Research Park sign, which is a little further east than Church Street, but that land's owned by the Innovation Quarter, and they discussed it, and I guess they just have too many plans for that land and didn't end up wanting to use the land for that right now. So we'll be doing that, and then also the group, really wanted to put more artwork along the multi-use path. So we'll be looking at that at a later time after the multi-use path is actually planned, which should be next year, I think. So this is kind of quickly breaking up into two projects. So Peters Creek Church, and then maybe 3 or 4 pieces of artwork on the multi-use path. And then the downtown sculpture on 4th and Spruce. We're working through some issues with the fabrication contract. The artist who designed the project also applied for the fabrication using a lot of subcontractors. And I think the contract gave her some pause because, all the responsibility lands on her and not the subcontractors. So she's a little nervous about taking on that responsibility. So has been talking with me, talking with the city attorney, and I guess talking to our subcontractors about subcontracting contracts. So we're kind of working through that. Jason has raised his hand. Do you have a question about something, Jason? You're on mute.
You know?
Yep.
Okay. The parking deck that's city-owned that faces the Salem Parkway, it's in the Innovation Quarter, I guess. That was at one time, there was some painting on it that was meant to highlight the City of the Arts, and it's faded with the sun. And I thought that might be a nice place sometime in the far off future as a venue.
Yeah. That I don't think that'll work for the Salem Parkway thing, but for that bond money. But that's definitely could be a cool project. And
that sounds good.
And those faded musical notes and drama faces could certainly be taken off as far as I'm concerned. So that downtown sculpture, so we're kind of working through those issues. Hopefully we'll get through them soon. And then the COVID memorial, we're just waiting to hear. We applied for the ARPA funds, American Recovery something Act. funds through the county. So we're just kind of waiting to hear back from them on that. And that is all the project reports. Does anybody have any questions about any more of those?
Kelly, did you want to update on the Bloomberg?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we applied for the Bloomberg Asphalt Art Grant and for artistic crosswalks along the strollway, and we did not get it. So.
Did they give any feedback about why?
No, no, they didn't, and I didn't ask for any, but I could if you all would like some.
I think that's always good if you can schedule a time and possibly let us know when the next date is so we could have a little bit more time to prepare.
Okay.
Yeah, be good to get feedback. So if we reapply, yeah.
Super. Yeah, I will do that. Any other questions there?
Was there anybody on the Salem Parkway bridges that wants to comment on those meetings and how that's going on developing an RFQ or an RFP? How's the approach going to be made for that project, which is quite large? I'm just curious.
I can speak to that a little bit. David, it is a very large project and it keeps on getting narrowed, I believe. And as Kelly said, turned into two parts. Exactly how the money is going to be split up, I don't know the answer to that question. But the meetings kind of indicated that the focus should be on, is the focus on the road or is the focus on the strollway? And so, and the strollway is not completed and might not be completed for a little while. So that's why it got separated out. And I think it's smart to not have that project be broader than it needs to be. Even if we, between me and you and the fence post, leave money on the table, that's better than trying to spend all the money, even though it's not appropriate to do so at this point in time. Is that correct, Kelly?
Yeah, but we can certainly spend all that money. I mean, it's I mean, for large scale sculptures, I think the money goes pretty quick. And if we back out, a certain amount for the multi-use path artwork, we can probably figure out a good budget for Peters Creek and then the Church Street Bridge pretty easily. And we'll talk about that at our next meeting, which has been difficult to schedule because a lot of people are going out of town. So hopefully that'll be in a couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
And your question about RFP versus RFQ, we're going to have to do an RFP for that, just because of the city's purchasing policies, the amount of money involved.
Okay. That's the only question I have right now. But we can also adjourn. We do not have to, there's no requirement that we stay for an hour and a half. I mean, I know we like to hang out, but I mean,
4 of you can hang out if you want, because it won't be a quorum if you desire to hang out.
any other projects anybody wants to talk about around town that are going on? No, not even ours. Was anybody downtown to see how the group from the cities did, how their project came out, the virtual monuments project?
Did they do that?
I know it was on the schedule, I saw.
Do you mean at Idea City?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was wondering about that. So I was there for almost the entire day from about 10:45 when our Provost Kirsch kind of kicked it off, and there was a land acknowledgement. I stayed till about 8 o'clock. There was some music. So felt like I was a real team player that day for Wake Forest. But it was great. The panel discussions, there were 3 panels back to back to back. They were excellent. There was a music panel. There was an art and tech panel. So the guy from Movers and Shakers who's doing the virtual monument, he was on that panel. He talked sort of around the idea, but he didn't, I don't know if it's ready to launch or something, because he was not specific. And then Christina Soriano moderated an arts panel that was also phenomenal. There was a marketplace with different sort of vendors and other entrepreneurs in the community. And then there was music, and it was really, really, really well attended. It was a gorgeous day. And I think if they do it, like, that was a nice inaugural event. But to answer your question specifically, he didn't talk about the project for Winston, so I don't know where they are with that.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we're bound to have meetings in the future that run over our hour-and-a-half time. That's the way I look at it. So it's all fungible time. We can bank this time. India, do you have something to say there? You endorse my idea here?
Totally endorse it, but I did say, well, 2 things. I did see the Undesign exhibition at, a couple of people were nodding their heads. They saw those too, at the library. And I didn't know what people's thoughts were about that, if people had an opportunity to check out that show.
Yeah, we're actually scheduled to do a group tour of it in about a week, but I heard it was good. And I know they're doing tours, so if you contact, I know Mike Wakeford is doing our tour, I think.
Yeah. Betsy, did you get to see it? Yeah, I think
I have an evening class. I'm surprised how early the library closes. I sort of was expecting a little bit later because I wanted to take my class, but I'm just going to go myself.
Yeah, I think it's like super informative. I did want more visuals. I think it was created through a design company, so it's very design based with a lot of information. So it's super, super informative, but not necessarily visually stimulating. So that's just like, that's the balance. It's like, how do you give all this information that is important, but you're doing it in a way that's more design based and not necessarily like art based, if that makes any sense. So that's the thing. That was the thing I was thinking about, because we talked about it at our board meeting. We all had a chance to see it, and so that was one of the I guess feedback that people were getting. There was like a lot of information, a lot of important information, but not necessarily narrated in a way that was visually compelling. So yeah, that's my little 2 cents.
My 2 cents is that so many of y'all have been involved in the Present Absence Project, which will culminate in these beautiful murals by Owens on the Walter Marshall Building, Social Services Building, and we just like this is the longest project I have ever been part of because COVID and because of 3 location changes, because of building sales and other things. So we still don't have a date, but there's one more signature we need. The Owens has completed the work. It's these beautiful 5 portraits. And then we're really thinking about exhibits like that Undesign the Red Line exhibition, because we also will have the chance to create panels inside the DSS and on the west side of that building to offer a little bit more information about KDB, Kate Benning Reynolds Memorial Hospital, and the history there. So those will be much more image heavy from what I've seen online about Undesign the Red Line, but we're also like trying to figure out what the right balance of information to beauty and interest is, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I also wanted to add that I spoke with David and Kelly, and I'm going to be leaving the Public Art Committee. Yes. Yes. So, yeah. So Kelly and David and I talked about it. And so, yeah, so I will be leaving. I don't know how soon I have to leave, but I'll be leaving very soon. Yeah. So.
Well, you're leaving for the reason that you're interested in doing a public artwork within the corridor. And I think that's really wonderful. Wonderful. It's like, I can't decide which is better, to have you on the committee or to have you do a work. But I think long-term, when you think long-term, having the possibility of having you do a piece is good. So,
no, I'm interested in applying, and that's obviously a conflict of interest, and so especially as a maker, just thinking about my own practice and how it has evolved over the years, and just thinking about what the next things I want to do. And so possibly working with some of my fabulous sculptor friends and thinking about how we can collaborate and do some dope, crazy idea. Especially, and so there's no guarantees, but I think it's just a wonderful opportunity to experiment and try something new. And I was telling David, I was like, I've been here since like day one. I'm like a day oneer, right? It's like, I think I had 2 babies over the course of this over my time going on baby number 3. So it's like, I think it's baby number 3. Darren's like, oh. Yes, it's a lot of moving parts. So no, I'm not sure this is my last meeting, but so it's been fun. Yeah.
We will miss you, India.
Thank you. Yes. And I'm pregnant, so don't cry, because that means I'll cry.
I did want to share the Arts Council has an artist support grant open now. It's due August 18th, and the cap is $2,000 for artists residing in Forsyth, Davie-Davidson, Guilford, and Randolph counties.
Okay.
So if you know anybody.
Okay, yeah, for sure, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, all good, really good news. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. So I'm really eager to see the President's Absence project. I can't wait. It has been a long time, and I'm really eager to see Owens, your piece. So let us know as soon as that you have the information about that. Send it, make sure that gets sent out to all of us. And it would be sad if this was your last meeting. So I mean, we ought to have birthday party or drinks or something to.
Oh, yeah. How many years has it been? Has it been like 5 years? I don't know. How long has it been, Kelly?
I don't know. I lost track.
I feel like I've been up this forever.
5 or 6.
It's been about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I'm looking at the screen.
Elizabeth, how long has this been?
So you, David, Betsy, Elizabeth, and Jane are all founding members. So yeah. We'll see who makes it the full 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if there are no other points for discussion, we should adjourn. So I move that we adjourn, and we will see you in November. Hopefully everybody will be here in November. We'll have a quorum. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thanks
you.
all. Thanks, Kelly.
Bye.
Go
Bye.
through.